Good morning. I've got the trailer playing for me right now. It's 10 a.m., an hour later than normal. I'm going to get an audio check here. An hour later. Yep, there we got audio, pop out chat. I just changed the time for the show to be 10 a.m. and then clicked go live. I just got back from the client's office. Looking at, let's see, it's May 22nd, 2023. I don't think I said that yet. 10 a.m. Pacific time. LJ says, brilliant trader. Dennis, Doug Math, Nick Poverman. If you see a crime at an Apple store, are you an eyewitness? Darren, hello. Yeah, I did this. I did this message from the client's office, and I tried to find a way on my phone to change the time of the show. I was going to change it to 10 a.m. because I thought I would be here by now. But I couldn't find any way to edit the scheduled show. Hope to see you soon. Checks watch for Jim. Mondays are bad for emergency calls as things fester over the weekend. I'll get you up to speed as to what happened. Today's Windows Daily number gave me flashbacks to the days of manually configuring a Sound Blaster 16. Anyone remember the next three numbers? Let's see what today's number is. 220. Sound Blaster 16 had something to do with 221, I guess. Yeah, I don't know that. Darren was asking what time for the show, I suppose. Mike Wojcik, Greg M. puts fires put out at a client. Yeah, didn't quite burn down the building. John Williams, good afternoon. Zavi Menor, take a deep breath. Hi. Let's see, let's pop out the time. I suspect that was just after I started. Yeah. Greetings all, 67 degrees for Selden Ball. So, Doug, what happened? What was the client emergency? Oh, Greg M says 220 is an IO address, input-output address. Yeah, I don't think I ever had to do that with a Sound Blaster card, or if I did, I don't remember it. Wintermute set blaster A220, that would be the address. Interrupt 7, D1T6. Not quite remembering what those letters stand for. Ran Israel says, bingo to Greg. All right, so the urgent call. Client calls me from her cell phone, and I can hear this UPS alarm ringing in the background. Pretty much instantaneously, I knew what was going on because I already knew that office had a power outage overnight. The reason I knew it is because I received an email from the managed ISP, I'll call it. It's an ISP that they manage the router, they manage the firewall. I don't have passwords for them. And they sent me an email saying that they noticed that the firewall is down. And then when I checked, well, this must have been sometime earlier on Saturday, because last evening when I checked the prior evening's backups remotely, I found an indication that the power had gone out. The indication was that I had to log into the server. After connecting remotely to it, find that it was not logged into the desktop. Hang on. So I already knew that there had been a power outage. When my client calls me on her cell phone, I can hear the alarm of the UPS. Now, it shouldn't ought to be ringing because we have battery backups there, and it should have just automatically resumed. I tried doing some things with her by phone and by FaceTime. We both had iPhones. And got the display on the screen of the UPS to indicate a speaker symbol with a line through it. That should have turned the alarm off, and it did not. And I also noticed a strange thing as it was indicating 0 volts output. So I told her, this isn't working for us. So I drove over. It's about 10 minutes away, not a long distance. And when I got there, tracing things down to figure out what's going on, it turned out that I had to actually turn off the UPS and turn it back on. Even though the power has resumed and it's receiving power in to the device, it was not sending power out to the two servers. Well, hey, Doug, how are the servers not down? Well, these servers both have two power supplies. I've shown them before. If you've seen the rack mount server that I had over here, showing what it looks like inside. That's the office where we have 4 servers, but only using 2 of them. So it has 2 power supplies in the box, in the computer. One of them connected to the UPS, the other is connected to a surge protector. So that if the UPS is unable to supply power, the surge protector still powers the servers. That's what they were running on. When I got over there, I looked at the LED light indicators on the power supply on the back of the server and verified, yes, the one that's plugged into the surge protector is showing that it's on. The one that's not plugged in the surge protector, that's plugged into the battery backup, shows that it's off. So I figured, okay, I'll just it's like a firing button on a fighter jet. Where you have to lift this little cover before you can press the button. I assume fighter jets have that. I don't know. And but I didn't want her to do that when I was remote because I didn't have 100% confidence in that was going to be the right thing to do. It didn't make sense to me that we would have to do that. So that's what I did. Open that little door, press the button. The UPS turned off. And then I turned it on again, and it shows batteries fully charged and sending out normal voltage. Go around to the back of the server. The lights are lit. It's just baffling to me. Am I missing something? How this UPS is not providing power to the server, even though outlet power has been restored. Odd. I don't know. Greg M is saying some UPS do that to prevent seesawing of the attached devices where the power goes up and down. Well, I don't quite understand that because if the power in the building is going off and on, well, that's why you have battery backup, to keep the power going to the server. But in this case, the power went out and it did not come back on. Now, it could have been that the power was out so long that it completely drained the batteries of the UPS. May have done that. I don't know because batteries are fully charged now. I don't have remote capability to monitor that UPS. I think it might, no, I don't think it's capable of that. I don't think it's a smart ups. I think it's a backups. But yeah, Greg M says if the battery is low. Well, that would make sense if the battery is low for it to keep it off. But once the battery is fully recharged, I want it to automatically provide power to the servers. Why would you have to turn it off and then turn it on again? I don't like that at all. No. Is that all of that story? I think so. What else do we have here? Chit chat back and forth. Address, IRQ, DMA, and type. He's thinking that's what those letters are. Chris, to me, you did a live 1 p.m. instead of 12 p.m. I just got home. Oh, well, you probably didn't know then that I delayed for an hour because the emergency service call to a client. Ran to winter mute. Yes, but you forgot H5 16-bit DMA. I guess that was about all of that stuff up there. Anyway, moving on. Hello, Bobby. I'm fine, thank you. Already read that one. Rick Lakes says, hello to you. Maybe UPS needs a firmware update. I suppose that's possible. Why? But that just, that's like saying a firmware update for this basic function that a UPS is supposed to provide power to the server. And their original firmware somehow doesn't do that, so you need a firmware update. That's kind of like saying you buy a car and then go back to the dealer because they forgot to put tires on the car. And a UPS providing power to the devices that are plugged into, that's the most basic of its function. for that to require a firmware update. No. Maybe the battery's no good anymore. Well, the battery's showing full charge now. So yeah, and this particular, I have seen that. I have seen before what happens on this UPS, this model UPS, because it's not my first go around with it. That when the battery is not capable of holding a charge, it gives me a warning of that. Greg M., some PC have an option for power loss that they will not come on during power failure, but that's not the issue. The computers were on. The computers did come back on. It's the UPS that was not providing power to the servers. The servers were still on because their second power supply was connected directly to a regular surge protector. Daniel Emberley, does the UPS software show a detailed log of events? I think I have the monitoring cable connected. I just haven't spent any time looking at that. So it could be there. Do I really care? The only thing I need here, the quick, easy solution here is I'll just put it in my notes for that client. And if the UPS alarm is ringing and it shows 0 output, just turn it off and turn it on again. For me to spend the time going into the detailed log of events, to what end? I want the alarm to ring. Now, I explained to my client that I think if we press that button to turn the alarm off, so there's an alarm, the speaker symbol and an X through it, that didn't stop the alarm that was ringing at the time. But I speculated that maybe if we have that alarm turned off and the next time that it runs into power outage, it's not going to ring the alarm. Well, we don't want that, because she could show up to her office. There's no alarm ringing. Nobody's been alerted that there was a power outage, and that the UPS is not providing power to the server. I almost said it's not providing its half of the power. That's not fair. There's 2 power units in the server. They're both capable of running the server, fully running the server. So I don't think it's like they're each providing half of the power that the server is utilizing. I suppose it could be because they're both showing on, but of course you're not providing twice the voltage. It would just be potential amperage, I suppose, so that it's taking less, taking half as much power from each power supply as what is actually being used. Let's see, a conversation continuing between those two. Chris Garrett, is it possible to remove screen password on iPhones? Would that be safe to do? It's annoying. Yes, you can do that. And you can turn off the screen blanking so that it doesn't go blank. Let's see how quickly, this would be an exercise to see how quickly I can bring this up. I have to plug in Baby Beast. I had the capture card disconnected for Baby Beast. That's where I connect my cell phone. Let's see, was he saying iPhones? Yes, he did say iPhones. So then on my iPhone, I go to the screen mirroring, select Baby Beast for screen mirroring, and then swipe back to my home screen and settings. Now let's see, where is this at? And let's get Baby Beast set up right. So here I can display my cell phone shared to Baby Beast. And I think I need to move my picture-in-picture up. There it is. All right. Now I just went to sleep. He was asking about the... Now, if you don't want the screen to go dark, like when you have it connected to power or something like that, you can come into this display and brightness and changing the auto lock to never. And I do like to change the auto lock to never when I am showing it remotely like this. Okay. And then I need to find where is that code thing. Privacy and security, I suspect. Now I should take that off screen once in a while because I'm not totally certain when it's going to show something that might be of concern. If somebody knows where this is that I'm looking for, because I don't know it offhand. Focus, analytics, app privacy. This isn't feeling like the right place for this would be the unlock code. And Doug, are you certain that that can be turned off? Well, I think it can. Here we go. So now I'm into, if I go into my Apple ID up here on the, whoops, wrong button, up here on the top. And then here's passwords and security. So I'm bringing that off screen for a moment while I touch passwords and security. There's, let's see, yeah, a little bit too much here for me to show. There's change passwords, sign in with Apple, two-factor authentication, my trusted phone number, verification code. Nope, that's not the lock code. Where is it? It's not there. Am I not going to be able to find it? Is anybody telling me in chat? No. All right, so this, oh, hey, you know what? This gives me a good opportunity. I'm not going to go to Chat GPT. I have learned about a better AI to question things with. Let's see, I think it's on website. Yeah, perplexity.ai. It has a far more current database. Let's see, you can see here it's got some, there's some 22 and 23 dates in here when I was just asking about budget stuff. So it's talking about in here somewhere it was referring to something that was going through, I don't know, Congress in April or March, was released on March 10th, 2023. So we know it has 2023 stuff. Okay, so new question. How can I disable unlock code on my iPhone? Yeah, I did that with caps lock. Is it going to tell me that's rude to have your caps lock on when you ask questions? We say that about the chat room. Some ways to disable, turn off passcode from the settings app, open settings, tap touch ID and passcode. Well, that certainly is a sensible sounding thing. Why didn't I see that? Touch ID and passcode. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Touch ID and passcode. Oh, there it is. Face ID and passcode. Okay, that's it. So here, back to my phone, scroll down, and down here, Face ID and passcode. So I'm going to touch that one, and then it asked me to enter my passcode. So I have to enter my passcode here. And as I'm typing that, you can't see my fingers typing. Sorry, I keep taking you back to the wrong screen. So I can type this code in while you watch, and you don't know what my code is. So here's Face ID for unlock and alternative Face ID with mask. I have that turned on. So I even have a Face ID done. And here's turn passcode off. Finally. So I'll press that to turn passcode off, turn off. And then, oh, it wants me to put in my Apple ID password for that. All right, I'll have to go look that up because I don't know offhand what it is. Let's see, over here, I'm looking through, what's this password manager called? RoboForm. Here we go. Nope, that's not mine. That's somebody else's. What? You have somebody else's Apple code? Oh, I don't even have it in there. Oh, I bet because it's not under Apple. Was it under iCloud probably? No results found for iCloud. Oh, geez, really? Come on, Doug. Does this guy know what he's doing? He seems confused. And, oh, that's an old one. Um, doo, 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 doo. No, I know when I want to, it's so seldom that I have to look it up. I think I have it on a different place. Really, is that it? All right, come on, let's go. Show's dragging. We got quiet time. We got dead air. Ah, are you kidding me? All right. Hey, I showed where the option is to turn it off. I'm going to move on. You just need your password to accomplish that. Yeah, let's move on. Nick Pulverman just got here. I had to take a Zoom call. Somebody heard the boop da dee boop. Looking for home screen lock code. It's under Face ID and password on the newer phones. Yep, that's where it was. Okay, Chris, mine says Touch ID and passcode. Thanks, Doug. So we're done. Is there a reason why? It was because Chris asked my face would break the phone. Let's see, where else I want to go is I told you about my client call. So I'll go catch up on some comments, channel comments. Official Lucas YouTube says, thanks, Grandpa. I think that must be somebody that came over from my Fortnite channel because that channel is called Grandpa Doug Learns Fortnite. And there's that shorts promo that I did a while back. REL4252 says, nice. And then regarding this device manager errors says, in my laptop, other devices not showing what to do. So Sumat Sony, if you provide more information, I'd be happy to help you further. I do these live streams every day, and since you're looking at a video that's so long ago, you may not know that. In fact, I'll turn my picture off so that the audience can see what video that he was commenting on. This device manager errors other devices section with exclamation mark telling us that in my laptop, other devices is not showing what to do. So I was explaining there is this other devices section is a place where you can solve problems with your computer. And I have another devices section. The only time you're going to have an other devices section is if your computer has a problem that it realizes is a device driver problem, where it thinks there's a device there that doesn't have a functional driver. Under normal circumstances, you should not have this section called other devices. If you are having a problem with your computer, then tell me about the problem. What is the problem that you're having? You can send an email to my email address with photos attached to help explain the problem that you're having. And in the next daily what do I call this? Windows Daily show, which is every Monday through Friday, I will directly respond to you. That is really the main focus of what I want this channel to be about, is to respond very directly to people's questions through live video so I can show you what to do. So after this video is over, I will reply to this message with a link to this point in this live stream. And I'm going to go take a look at chat because sometimes people are adding additional comments to whatever I'm addressing to a person. And these are still on that passcode issue, so I'll just come back to the next one. Tony Wallow says, good game regarding the turbo encabulator. And I think Ken Stout made a comment on that in the chat room. He called it a miss. I guess he didn't like the turbo encabulator. And I'm figuring the reason is because we know Ken doesn't get along very well with words that have multiple syllables in them, right? Right? Or another possibility is Ken might be thinking that maybe he's not believing that all of those words in the turbo encabulator were actually legitimate technical terms. And maybe that's why he called it a miss. Ken, those were all valid words in turbo encabulator. For those of you who don't know what the turbo encabulator was, that was a trailer that plays before many of my shows. This trailer was playing before the Saturday show, and you can't go replay a trailer. It doesn't get recorded with the show. Those trailers are unlisted videos on my channel. There are ways that you could get to them. If you were to specifically ask me for the link for a particular trailer, I'll give that to you, but there's other people in the chat room that can give that to you also. You can see a trailer by just going to, let's see, let's bring that up, right? Because I'm going to demonstrate things. I'm not just going to talk about them. If you were to go to a new tab, go to youtube.com/LWTDB/live. That's going to take you to my next scheduled live stream. After this stream ends today, I will schedule tomorrow's live stream pretty soon. And the trailer that played before today's show will be viewable to you right then. You don't have to come in just before tomorrow's show starts in order to see that trailer. Now, if I press enter here, it's just going to take us to the show that's playing right now, but it's not going to show the trailer. The trailer does not get recorded with the live stream. Let's see, where was I at? Back here to channel comments. Thumbs up and heart there. And Tony says, nice stream for Saturday's show. And then Matt Muck. Now, this RMMCB739, that might be a name that we know, but when the names show up in comments, they're different than how they show up in the chat room. If I go to this person's channel, we'll see, yeah, this is Robert, RM. I suspected that might have been Robert. And he's explaining here the reason for him sharing the link in yesterday's chat about, let's see, that I guess was in Friday's chat. And that was regarding that so-called bug that was causing SATA SSDs to show up as removable drives. The reason for sharing that was to see if you had the same thought I had on the information provided. To me, I have always seen TechWriter to be kind of a large news source in tech news, so basically to give a topic. Yes, well, thank you, Robert. And I also have had a good impression of TechRadar. Now, what I neglected to do on Friday is I didn't go point out the information about that writer, the author of that article. It explained that it gave the author of that article as a freelance submitter of articles. So I'm disappointed in the quality of that article for being on TechRadar, but I'd say it was probably more the fault of the freelance writer than TechRadar. If anyone's interested in that topic, you should just go back and watch Friday's show for that. And I'm not quite sure, Robert, whether, let's see, you said to see if I had the same thought. So I don't quite know what you thought of that article. But I wasn't a big fan of the way that article was titled. It made it sound like, oh, this is a big problem with Windows 11. But no, it's a problem that's been around since Windows 7 and very, very minor problem. Very few people would have come across that. And another thing I forgot to mention on Friday is, so what if you have that problem? Your computers are probably working just fine. You could leave it that way. The only complaint that that was saying is that if you go to look to remove on USB connected devices, you'll see the capability to remove that drive. So what? Don't remove it. The computer probably works fine. Bobby Warren says, sorry, I missed the stream. Okay, so that covers all that. There's nobody to send me, for me to send you off to as a redirect. So there's nothing set up. And did you hear about Google Domain Registrar coming out with .zip and .mov domains? No, I didn't. That's curious. Really? Did you hear? Okay, let's go ask that AI if he's heard of that. Perplexity. Ask Perplexity in a new thread. Did you hear about Google? I'll fix that typo there and see what it has to say about that. Because that seems weird to have domain names with a .zip and .mov. It seems like you shouldn't do that. What a bad idea that would be. According to search results, Google has recently added 8 new top-level domains, including .zip and .mov. These 2 domains have raised concerns among experts about their potential consequences. Didn't I just say that? It was concerning to me on internet and web overall security. The reason is that .zip and .mov are both file extensions, which means that URL that look like file names could automatically link to a malicious website. For example, a scammer could strategically buy a .zip and .mov URLs that are also common file names. So online references to a file with that name could automatically link to a malicious website. Researchers have already started seeing malicious actors buying up strategic .zip URLs and begin testing them in phishing campaigns. Yeah, this is a bad idea. However, Google has stated that it already includes mechanisms to suspend or remove malicious domains across all of its top-level domains, including .zip and .mov. Additionally, the company has noted that newer domains can be rolled out with more stringent security defaults for registrars. Finally, it's worth noting that .zip and .mov are among the 40 top-level domains included on the HTTPS Strict Transport Security Preload list, which tells browsers to always use HTTPS when connecting to these domains. In summary, Google has added .zip and .mov domains to its registry, which has raised concern about the potential use in phishing campaigns. What's the advantage? Why do it? What is the reason that they wanted to do it? Are there not enough letters available for top-level domains? No, that can't be the case. However, Google has mechanisms in place to suspend or remove. That sounds kind of repetitive. What an awful idea that is. Thank you, Greg, for pointing that out. Danielle, I often hear it's the publication editor that creates the title for an article, not the writer who wrote the article. Yes, and I said that on Friday. And then that would be a reason to be critical about the publication. I'd be hard-pressed to imagine a responsible editor would accept the title submitted by the author that was very much clickbait. Because you put a title saying Windows 11 suffering this. It was a really harsh written title saying that would give all of the Windows 11 bashers another reason to bash Windows 11 when the bug has nothing to do with Windows 11. And at the beginning of the article, they acknowledge that. But the title is very clickbaity, and they earn revenue off of advertisements. Yep, Theo Joe had an example on how people can be tricked. I'm guessing that has to do with those domain names. And is this maybe that? Yeah, Theo Joe did something. Google did something really stupid. Protect yourself. Yeah, sounds like that's exactly what he's probably talking about. How can they use this when it's for files, not websites? Yeah. Greg Tazvi. Yeah, that shows how people can be tricked thinking they're downloading a zipper, MOV, and they're being directed over to a website or logging into a site automatically. Yeah, boy, that's just weird. Why on earth did Google want to do that? What's the upside? I don't know. All right, I'm going to shut down here. Have a great. I get choked up when I wish you to have a great day. You can send an email to me to that address for a topic that you'd like me to respond to during a Windows Daily, or you can leave a comment on any video or ask a question in the chat room. So that'll do it. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.